This program is brought to you by Medical City, the Neely School of Business at TCU, and Community Trust Bank. Welcome to Platforms, the life-lifting news program for women. Now, here's your host, Siobhan Palmer.
Hey, welcome everybody to Platforms, the life-lifting news program for women. This week we're absolutely delighted to be visiting with the legendary actress, singer, and philanthropist, the beautiful Miss Ruta Lee. Ruta, welcome to welcome to the Estrogen Express, my dear.
I am so happy to be here, and I can use some.
I know. Okay, before we talk about your incredible acting career, why don't we start at the beginning for the audience, because you've had a very interesting childhood. Tell us where you grew up.
I was born in Montreal, Canada.
Beautiful city.
Of Lithuanian parents. My parents were born, raised, married in Lithuania.
Okay.
They decided to make the big move from, I'm talking peasant Lithuanians. My mother used to carry her shoes to church because they had to be passed down to the next girl and the next girl and the next girl. And they decided that America was the land of opportunity, the place where the streets were paved with gold, and they would somehow come to America. The quotas were closed. They couldn't get into the United States. So Canada was open to them, Mexico, South America, Australia. And they thought, well, Canada is right next door to the United States. Yeah. So maybe that'll be close enough. So my father hired on as a wheat laborer in the fields in Saskatchewan, worked for a year, and then brought my mother over. And I was eventually born in Montreal, and my mother discovered early on, and not knowing anything about theater, but seeing movies. And of course, they'd save their pennies and they'd go see a movie, and they saw Shirley Temple movies. And my mother thought that I was Lithuania's answer to Shirley Temple.
I love that.
Because I was a precocious child and an only child.
I was going to ask you that.
Terribly spoiled, but spoiled in the right way, right. I think. In that I learned a very, very strong Lithuanian work ethic and a responsibility ethic and an honor ethic and all of that stuff. And God bless my mother, she's the one that communicated, being Lithuanian, we're mostly Catholic in Lithuania. She communicated with a priest who had started a parish in Los Angeles in California, and she used to send him a few bucks for church every once in a while. And he communicated with her, invited my mother and father to come to Southern California and stay at the parish house in the rectory, you know, with him. And of course they came to Southern California, and coming from snowy Montreal in February into beautiful, jasmine-scented, flower-blooming, palm-swaying Southern California, my mother fell totally, totally in love. And she didn't know about theater, she knew about movies, and in her mind, I could be a movie star.
Her little girl was going to go that route.
And you know how satisfying it was for me that when she died at 96,
wow,
and in full compos mentis, that she was able to smile and say to herself, Joe, my father, I told you so. When you were saying you're wasting your money on lessons, and you're wasting your money on music, and you're wasting your money taking her to dancing classes, you know, because I never liked practice.
Really?
I only like performing. To this day, rehearsals, they're a pain in the butt, but performing is something else. So it was nice that she was able to take great satisfaction in seeing me on the screen and on the television and on the stage. Fantastic. She used to come to see some of the shows here at Casa Mañana in Fort Worth. And it was such fun because I would introduce her to my audience. I always chat with the audience after the show a little bit, you know, Siobhan. And I would bring her up on stage, and of course then it was in the round.
Yeah.
And amazingly enough, This little woman who carried her shoes to church, didn't know diddly squat about sophistication of any kind, knew to bow to the audience here, and here, and back there, and work the room.
She knew how to work it, yeah. It's in your DNA, obviously.
Yes.
Let's go back just because I'd love to educate our audience about the people of Lithuania, and you are so proud of this heritage. Tell us, for the uninformed, I'm the stupid layman by design on this show, where is Lithuania?
Lithuania is one of the 3 Baltic countries, next door to Russia, Poland, the Baltic Sea. Germany is right there. And it was one of those countries that nobody knew about because way back when the Russians started moving in, and then of course the big mistake was made when all of those countries were given to the Soviet Union, and little Lithuania was under the communist boot for 60 years. And so it just disappeared off the maps. It was all just part of Russia.
Right.
Instead of the 3 beautiful Baltic countries. And at one point, I'm proud to say, that Lithuania went from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. That's how big a nation it was. And it has a very proud heritage. And the Lithuanian people are not only beautiful people, but they're the hardest working people. All of those countries, the Poles are hardworking, the Lithuanians, the Latvians, the Estonians, and they're all thrifty.
Right.
I'm yet to find a poor Lithuanian. And why? Because any one of those people that come to America, the land of opportunity, they know that they can fulfill any dream they have. If they work hard, save their money, they can have everything. Every Lithuanian I know owns apartment buildings, cleaning establishments, whatever.
They're incredible entrepreneurs, and they're very pragmatic
Tremendous.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are.
And it's what a gift that your parents gave you as an only child, to believe in yourself unconditionally, and it's obviously paid off in a huge way.
I guess. I'm not aware that I was doing it, other than my mother said when I was a little girl that I loved people, which I do to this day. And that if I walked down the street and there was some drunk lying in the gutter, I'd bend down, give him a kiss, and say hello. That I would climb every set of stairs and want to ring every doorbell to say hello to everybody. Do you know that I still am like that? There are times, because I know you're from New York, Siobhan, I remember walking down the streets in New York, and I'd smile at everybody. If I caught someone's eye, I'd smile. And my girlfriend, who was with me doing exactly the same thing, said, "Why are people staring at us? Do they think we're hookers?" And my husband, who gets a big giggle out of the fact that I cannot just walk into anything without saying hello and introducing people, he says, "Ruta introduces people to each other on an elevator. God forbid they should have a bad ride."
Well, hold that thought, Miss Ruta Lee, because I can't wait to get into your stellar Hollywood career coming up.
Oh, my.
And it's stellar. Folks, this is Siobhan Palmer with Platforms, the life-lifting news program for women. Back in just a moment with Miss Ruta Lee.